The scream tore through the smog-choked night like a dagger. High-pitched, not human, but desperate enough to make Cale stop in his tracks. He was supposed to be scavenging. The ruins of Old Terra Station were dangerous enough by day. By night, only madmen and survivors like Cale dared to walk them. He adjusted the strap on his oxygen mask, peered through the cracked visor of his helmet, and scanned the source of the sound. Another scream echoed. This one was shorter, closer. So, he cursed. Curiosity had killed plenty of humans on this dead world. But something in that voice wasn't just fear. It was agony. Cale tightened his grip on his old pulse rifle and pushed toward the sound. Through the skeletal remains of a collapsed dome, flames flickered, blue, licking unnaturally at the twisted metal. He passed a rusted transport pod, half melted into the slag of the earth, and climbed a ridge of concrete slabs. At the top he found the fire. Her. A girl. Young, maybe late teens by human standards. Her skin shimmered like polished obsidian under the flames, etched with thin bioluminescent veins pulsing red. She was pinned under a fallen support beam, her legs partially submerged in the blue fire, but untouched by it. The heat should have been unbearable. Cale stepped back reflexively. Then her eyes met his. Silver. What? Afraid. Please, she rasped in broken standard. Don't let it take me. Cale blinked. What the hell? The flames around her surged as if reacting to her fear. He shielded his face with his arm and crouched lower. Hang on. He dropped his pack and unlatched a carbon steel lever from his belt. Slipping closer to her side, he wedged it under the beam. You shouldn't be alive in this kind of heat. The girl shook her head weakly. Not fire. Not real. He ignored the cryptic warning. With a growl, he threw his weight on the bar. The beam groaned, shifted, then slid off her with a hiss. The flames withdrew instantly, curling away from her body and vanishing into the ground. Cale stared. She coughed, clutching her chest, and tried to sit up. Her thin body shook with the effort. Easy, Cale muttered, helping her up. You injured? No, she said faintly. Just lost. He examined her as he offered a hand. No armor, no weapons. Only a strange metallic pendant hanging from a black cord around her neck. It shimmered briefly as the firelight died. He glanced back toward the blue embers. They were gone. No ash, no heat. Just scorched stone and the acrid scent of ozone. What's your name? He asked. The girl hesitated. Syrah. I'm Cale. Can you walk? She nodded. Good. Let's get out of here before more screaming draws something worse. Cale brought her back to his makeshift shelter in an old research silo buried deep beneath Terra Station. It wasn't much, just a couple of power cells, a filtered air unit, and supplies salvaged over years, but it was safe. Syrah collapsed on a cushion of old thermal blankets. She drank water like it was the first thing she'd ever tasted. Cale watched her warily. You're not from around here. No, she said softly. Not your world. You speak our language pretty well. My kind were taught. That wasn't ominous at all. Why were you out there alone? What was that fire? Syrah touched the pendant around her neck. Not fire. Memory. Contained until I lost control. You're saying that blue fire was a memory? She nodded. From my people. The Denari. Our minds, our pain can manifest. If we are broken, it escapes. Cale leaned forward. You were screaming. Who did that to you? Syrah closed her eyes. He hunts me. One of yours. Or once was. He is not human anymore. Cale's stomach knotted. You mean a splicer? No. Worse. He feeds on what we release. Cale stood and checked the door's seal. The airlock hissed closed. He turned to her. Why is he hunting you? Because I remember. Over the next 2 days, Cale helped Syrah recover. She didn't eat much, but she meditated often, whispering in her own language, eyes glowing faintly as if reciting some inner litany. Cale didn't pry. He knew the look of trauma. She told him the rest gradually. Her ship had crashed 2 weeks ago. She'd been fleeing a former Terran scientist, Dr. Ansel Viral, a man Cale recognized from infamy. Viral had been part of the bioweapon integration corps before the fall. He'd vanished after being accused of grotesque alien experiments. He harvested psychic memories from my people, Syrah said. He said human minds were limited, that we could store trauma like fuel. He found a way to feed on it. Cale had heard of psychic leeching before, but this was different, intentional, weaponized. He wants what I carry, she whispered. The memories of the hive fall. Cale froze. That was the war no one talked about. The one that wiped out the original Denari homeworld. Officially, the Denari had refused to integrate. Unofficially, rumor said Earth's forces had wiped them out during an experiment gone wrong. Syrah's eyes brimmed with sorrow. He made us relive it, again and again, until some burned. Cale looked away. You don't need to tell me more. But you need to understand. He's still here. He followed me. That night, Cale awoke to a low hum. His shelter's lights flickered. The air grew cold, unnaturally so. In the corner, Syrah convulsed, her eyes wide, mouth open but no sound coming out. The pendant around her neck glowed red. He leapt to her side. Syrah! The air shimmered. And then he saw him. A tall, thin silhouette, half-robed, half-armored. The face was once human, but now stretched and gaunt, skin pulled thin over bone. Red cybernetic implants jutted from the temples. His eyes were pits of swirling black mist. Return her! The thing rasped, voice distorted. Cale raised his rifle. You're not taking her. She holds memories not hers to keep. They belong to progress. Syrah screamed silently as her body lifted off the floor, the pendant drawing light from every surface. Cale didn't think. He fired. Bolts of plasma tore through the apparition. It shimmered and vanished like smoke. Syrah fell into his arms, sobbing. Her skin steamed where the pendant had touched her chest. Cale grabbed it and ripped it from her neck. The moment he did, the heat died down. What is this thing? He asked. She looked at it with dread. The seed of the hive fall. All our pain, in one crystal. There was no more hiding after that. Syrah told Cale the truth. If the pendant was destroyed, the memory would be lost. But so would the chance to expose Viral's crimes. If it was kept, Viral would never stop hunting her. You could give it to me, Cale said. Draw him out. No, she said. He must see me. He must believe he's won. Cale hesitated. You're talking about baiting a madman with God tech. That's suicide. She looked him in the eyes. I would rather die free than live screaming. Cale nodded slowly. So they planned. They found Viral in the hollowed-out reactor of Terra's central core. He greeted them as if old friends. I knew she would come, he said, smiling. And you, human, brave but misguided. You think protecting her will earn you some moral high ground. The Denari were a mistake. I only seek to use their suffering to prevent ours. Cale leveled his rifle. You're not saving anyone. No, Viral said softly. Only evolving. He raised a hand. From the shadows, shapes emerged. Twisted bodies with partial armor, half machine, half flesh. Memory constructs. Puppets made from the stored pain of the hive fall.